Blog Talk Radio.
One, two.
This is Barbara Calvano, and Friday at 4 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio, Let's Ask the Angels. So great to have you here today. It's the last Friday in June. And yes, my name again is Barbara Calvano. I have a practice called Bcalvanocoaching. I am a certified angel card reader, also advanced tarot card reader from Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And I'm here to assist you in connecting with your angels, your ascended masters, talking about all things spiritual. Call it the 101 basics of creating a manner of dialogue, communication with what may look like invisible, but the all-powerful energies that are all around us. And my background is I am a performing artist and also a visual artist. My background, I've been in the New York City area for over 30 years, taking and participating in personal development courses. And so with that, and my love of meditation and yoga, I came upon working with angels, and it's not something that I thought I would do if you would have asked me 10 years ago, but as I came to acknowledge my own sensitivity and my own a love of intuition and creativity, what I saw was that I could actually feel an energy, and it's a vibration, a connection to information that was not always linear or the normal way in which we hear things. So I'm here at the half hour. I will do angel card readings for those who call in, and you can call in today at 424-675-6837, and also there's a chat here on the Blog Talk Radio page. In the month of July, I'm going to be giving away a prize. If you go to my website at Bcalvanocoaching.com and enter your email address to receive a monthly newsletter where I will be giving away ebooks on the practical tools of creating a spiritual life and living a life of balance, grace, and ease. I will also be giving away each month a free 1-hour reading with me, and how you will do that is by entering your email address and being part of my community. So thank you for taking a look at that and maybe doing so. And so I'll keep going. In June, I was talking about blooming with love, and a lot of the calls were about relationships, mostly were relationships. And but that's not the only type of love. There's also love of our craft, our work, of our planet, our community, of our missions while we're here. And one of the things I was guided to talk about is some of us have love, some of us feel like we don't, but basically love is all around us. And that sounds like a cliche, like a song from the 60s or 70s. Love is present, but if we have what may be like a blind spot or an inability to tap into it, then that's when we don't feel connected. And at least to address the desire to want to feel love, be loved, create love, relationships, passion in your work, one has to first be able to tell the truth, like where you're at, like how does it feel right now in your life, and be really honest. And it all starts, from just being rigorously honest, like This is not something, if my life were to stay this way for the rest of my life, keep going in this way, it's not something that I would like. And you have the ability to make that change. And habits and changes can, sometimes take a while. They say that if you do anything for 21 days, it can become a new habit. And usually, at the core of any desire for love, like a deep felt passion within oneself, is usually some type of fear, because fear covers it all. So one will have to take a risk. You got to take a risk, and you got to risk being hurt, falling down, things getting messy, and no risk, no gain. And after you start taking more risks, you'll find that that's usually the thing that you really want, because there's excitement, there's thrill, and there's a new energy that you feel, and that it changes the brain patterns, the patterns in your brain, and you feel younger. So you do, in taking risks, it could be wanting to take a course, or like I remember wanting to take this Bikram hot yoga class, and I was really afraid actually for a couple years because of the heat. It's anywhere from 105 degrees and higher when you're in there doing the practice. And I had a fear about that. But what I saw was that it was very popular, and mostly I wanted to get over my fear of it. I didn't really want to do it. I just was wanting to attack my fear. And I did that. And what I found, it was something that I really, really liked. And I would say that could be true for most of you. If there's something that's really you're confronted by tapping on the door of fear and allowing yourself to be present to it. And what that means is, like, you may feel like, yeah, I want this, but no, I really don't. You'll say to yourself, I want a relationship, I'd like to get married, I really want to lose the weight so that, I could feel better about myself and be healthier, but I really don't. Usually what comes up is your ego and fear. Or change a job. What if I put all my eggs in this new basket and they all break? There's no guarantees in life. There really aren't. What there is a guarantee is that if you don't make a change, nothing will change. And so working with the angels are like silent coaches, though sometimes they can be really loud with their examples or signs. I don't necessarily hear loud voices, but I'm someone who sees a lot of visual cues. I feel it in my heart area and in my ears in terms of a clairaudience. So people have different ways of connecting with the angels, working with angel cards. If you got a deck for yourself, you would actually learn how to be more intuitive, because it's not just a card with sometimes words on it, sometimes not, but it's also visual. And visual cues on the card themselves will also help train you to be much more visual and attuned in your daily life, because we have an ability to be present to love, present to life, but we tend to habitually cover it up with noise. We have our own noise of our brain chattering and talking and saying all this stuff. It's kind of like a computer that we programmed, or it's been programmed. Well, we're at the helm of it, but if it's what we listen to, whether you listen to television or radio or certain types of music or people, or you're just surrounded by sound and messages, that's how we get programmed. And we often also get programmed by our past. Not just the present past, but even past lives. So working with the angels is a very, very divinely, I want to say, it's a pure, energetic form, and it's a type of coaching. It's really exciting. So that's why I got into it. It's totally brought me into a new place of peace and serenity, and yet power. To be so empowered and feel grounded, so that when you have to do these plans of action and create schedules and things, because we have to get organized. We can't just sit around and just enjoy the loving, wonderful feeling of angel communications. And we're here to do things and to get things done while we're on the planet. So, but it guides you to know that there's a way of working with the energy. We're working with angels that you don't have to push so hard. You don't have to, that's big. You don't have to struggle so hard. So there's a lot of partnership in it, and there's a lot of love. So, I'm guided to tell you that when I came to New York City, I was really afraid. It was a risk. I had no place to live. I had a possible job at a Japanese restaurant working as a cocktail waitress because I'm part Japanese and I understand, because I could work. But I had no place to live. I had $100 and my trunk coming from Ohio, and I came to be a modern dancer back at the same time that Madonna had come to New York City. And, Lord, I had no idea what New York City was going to be about. And it was confronting, and it was scary. And but it was a risk I knew in my heart I had to take. And everything worked out, Another risk was, I'm thinking about our risk because today's the anniversary of my parents. They've been married today 60 years. And there was a time even 20 years ago when there were more people staying married. I mean, I went to a gathering of people who had been married for 50 years at my husband's on my husband's side of the family, and there were about 12 couples that got out on the dance floor when they were called out. Is anyone here who's been married over 50 years? And you and I know how easy it is for people to break up and separate. It's just unbelievable. Or how many single parents are out there because of different situations. And it's something to be to acknowledge, to be able to be married and stand by one another for 60 years. And they're both healthy. And one of the things they did, my mother, it was in 1953 that my father, after the Korean War, met my mother in Japan. She had been working as a maid on an Air Force base, and she didn't speak hardly any English. And when she got pregnant, my father married her there in Japan, and they came to the United States in 1954. And back then, there were not very many, racially mixed marriages, not black or Asian. And for my mother to leave everything and to leave her family at this time was a huge risk, emotionally and physically. And for a while, I felt the brunt of her emotions and sometimes depression about being here in this country, not having people to speak Japanese to. It was a difficult time for her and my father even. So both sides of our families had issues about one marrying the other's race, marrying the enemy. So there's a lot of, it was difficult. And it was a while before both sides of the family kind of understood that this was going to be. And then my parents had 3 more children. And so it was a risk. They had to give something up. Now, sometimes it doesn't have to be as drastic as giving up your family, but there's courage and life energy in going for what you care about and what you dream about. And my mother knew that it was, she loved my father, but she also knew it was a huge risk for her to leave her country at that time. So we've been back several times, and, it's all great and everything, but there are some people on either sides of the family who still don't accept us fully for being from the other country. But I've learned not to let that stop me from having happiness and joy in my life. So today, that's my little bit about June. I'll come up with a new intention for July, but thank you for being with me as we looked at, having love in your life. It doesn't look like something. It's more of an experience, a dare, that you're going to risk something, risk having your heart broken, risk falling down. But there's an exhilaration knowing that in the end, it's your spirit being called forward, and you are following that calling, whether it's to not become a medical doctor and be an artist, or risk coming out of the closet, or risk having gone to law school but saying, no, it's not for me to be a lawyer. Being able to go up against people, peers, family, and follow your own heart. And believe it or not, that's what working with the angels can provide for you to be fully integrated in and centered in energetically, lovingly, with fun and with actions to fulfill your life purpose. And that's a whole other show that I could be doing. So thank you for letting me talk about June with all its blooming roses. May you bloom and may your heart bloom with love today. So now I'm going to go over to the 3-card reading for the week that I do every week. And also I do see I have 2 callers on hold. Thank you for being there. I'll be getting to you at the half hour. And this week I was guided to use the mermaids and dolphins. And you might say, angels, mermaids, and dolphins, aren't they more like fish, But angelic beings, ascended masters, all in which are there for us to tap into, to partner with. Also mermaids. And mermaids are magical spiritual helpers who exist on the etheric plane who are ready to assist us. Mermaids have been around for a long time. In fact, mermaid-like goddesses were revered during the age-old time of Babylonia. And many ancient artifacts from civilizations around the globe show mermaids in the sculptures and the art. And dolphins are mermaids' physical companions, playmates, and co-workers. And they bring magical, otherworldly energy to Earth and remind us the importance of play. And sometimes we humans believe that effort, I was talking about struggle, will lead us to our goals. And we try to force things to happen. This all accountability, accountability is important, but really getting serious about it. The dolphins show us that we can reach our destination by embarking on a joyful, playful path, and we need to be focused, not somber, to realize the manifestation of our dreams. So dolphins also remind us to use our 6th sense along the way. Our intuition provides much of the guidance and direction we seek, and dolphins give us prime examples of how to trust our feelings. So this week I was guided to select 3 cards, but actually a 4th card jumped out of the deck also. So we're going to have that in our reading also. So starting today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the card is self-forgiveness. And it says, let go of old guilt. And remember that you're God's perfect child. And here, anytime I use the word God, if you prefer higher power, source, it's all part of how you feel your creator or how that partnership that you feel. And I will use the word God very often. So you've been very hard on yourself, it says lately, using harsh words. Haven't we done that towards yourself verbally or mentally? And while it's healthy to hold yourself up to high standards, this card says that you've bordered on self-abuse. See, everyone makes mistakes, and it's normal to feel regret occasionally. But what's important is that how you handle these mistakes. So as you focus on your positive attributes, your self-esteem will increase, and your stress level will go down. So remember that guilt is the opposite of love. So your guilt doesn't help anyone or anything, but your divine love helps everyone and everywhere. So the card message is asking you to affirm, I ask that all effects of my mistakes be undone in all directions of time, and I now release all guilt completely. I love my true self from top to bottom. So it's asking us to take an inventory and really tell the truth. If we get a little wormy or a little, weird with ourselves, we need to check in and see, what are we telling ourselves? How are we talking to ourselves? And you'll catch yourself whoa, hello, my bad mood is coming from me. Or something happened and you got in a bad mood and all of a sudden it's just going around and around and around in your mind. Well, guess what? You get to forgive yourself, catch it, and stop. The next card, and I'll tell you more how to do that more easily. But to begin by is that you can stop that. The next card is for Monday, Tuesday, and it says, you're being helped. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see results yet. And how often if we don't see the results, we live in a time and age where if it's not done and fast, it's getting even quicker and quicker, because we're so into this digital age, click, click, snap, snap, we just expect everything in the world and the universe to manifest that quickly. And guess what? Earth, the universe, is all going on God's time. And we can take actions and work in partnership with the universe instead of trying to force things to happen. So here again, it says your manifestation is being worked out right now, even if you can't see it. So as an example, when sailors get close to land, they often see signs of life, such as birds flying or branches floating in the ocean. So by drawing this card, we're asked to look at and notice that land. Your manifestation is near. Even if you can't see evidence that your manifestation is in the process. So this card assures you that your prayers have been heard and answered. Stay centered in faith and gratitude in order to open the door to your desires. And I'm reminded to tell you, just like when you're in a restaurant and you place an order for a salad and some mineral water, right? You only place your order once, right? You're not like a waiter. I'd like to place my order again because you've waited 10 minutes and it hasn't come. No, you place the order once and you actually sit there and relax somewhat. Sometimes it's hard here in New York City, but you relax for your food to come. It's the same way with working with the angels. You pray, you let it go, let God, and be awake and alert and present to signs. And signs could be anything from repetitive messages you have as thoughts in your head. It could be images. It could be, it could be a feather on the ground, a coin, meaning that the angels do acknowledge that they're close to you, or it could be formations of clouds. And so how I'm speaking is, you might say, it's kind of like how tribal cultures are. They were so much more in tune with nature and just being witness to what's going on around them. And how to do this best is to start incorporating more silence in your life so you can just quiet all the chatter. And here, I live in New York City. It's pretty busy and pretty crowded here. You've got to find ways wherever you are to input time alone, where you can be silent, time in nature, where you can really detox just by walking through the woods or through gardens. You need to do that in order to restore your set point in your body, mind, spirit to set point zero, to a nothingness. And some of you have meditation practices. And so you don't necessarily have to practice. If you don't worry. You don't need to be meditating for an hour a day or 30 minutes. 5 minutes is good. Try 2 minutes. But know that in your silence is your gold, because you'll be able to sense and feel and hear guidance. And we all know what we're talking about. Every day there are things that we want to do, we want to say, actions we want to take. And we'll pay thousands of dollars for someone to tell us what to do, give us an outline, give us structures, give us tapes to listen to. But there's great power when you tap into your own inner wisdom and you tap in your own ability to hear what's already being told to you. Answered prayers are there. So that's the second card. The third card for Thursday of next week is alchemy. And it says, you have the Midas touch right now. And every project you begin turns to gold. Wow. You're on a roll at this time with the energy of heightened success surrounding you and your endeavors. You instantly manifest your thoughts and ideas now. So choose them carefully. Just as you're capable of manifesting masterpieces right now, you're also able to manifest problems. You all have that. You've had that feeling before, like you created something great, but all of a sudden something goes south. Well, sometimes we need to stop and take a look at who was like directing that. And most often it's us. Not good news. And here it says, but the good news is that you can also undo any manifestation that you were unhappy about. An alchemist is someone who turns base metal into precious gold or silver. And you have the ability to take ordinary projects and make them come alive with meaning, blessings, and abundance for everyone involved. See, your gratitude from your heart for your God-given manifestation power, and also the joy you feel in a response to amplifying your alchemical abilities. Affirm this frequently. Thank you for helping me focus on my thoughts completely with joy and the desire to be connected to divine love. I am so grateful that all my needs are so carefully addressed instantly. Now, I can hear some of you say, well, what do you mean? My life really isn't going in a good direction, but maybe no matter where you are, the small changes that are occurring are huge if you give them love. But if you judge them and critique them, you're turning them into, the opposite of love and joy. So the ability to be grateful, no matter how tiny the steps you're taking or changes are occurring, they're actually changing. When a seed grows into a flower or a seed grows into a tree, those tiny changes are happening. You can't say that they're not. And before you know it, you'll look again, and it's like 2 inches taller. You look again, and it's 3. You look again, it's 5 feet tall. Well, we also have that ability to grow and grow our projects, and projects can include relationships, our health, career, our connection to angels. It's just we need to stop being a judge with the measuring stick and saying, well, I think it should be happening faster in my time and not in the universe's time. The most graceful ownership of our limited existence, which is also in ourselves. So that's the message for alchemy. And then the extra card that I was guided to pull is protection. And it says, you and your loved ones and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. Your prayers, which ask for safety and protection, have been heard and answered. Like I said, place your order once in the restaurant and then just chill out a little bit. Find a way to be still and witness things happening around you. And don't bring worry to it. Any attacks or threats are now a thing of the past, washed away with the tide of heavenly love. This love is clearing away your insecurities so that you can feel totally secure. So when you ask heaven to watch over you, your loved ones, your home, and your possessions, your prayers are instantly answered. There's no hesitation or delay on heaven's part. It's done as soon as you ask. Your energies can now be directed in meaningful and creative ways. With your mind clear of worries, you can enjoy today. And what I'm guided to say is that how many of us get so excited about something? Me too. I got my hand raised up. I do it. I am not perfect, but I use the angels on a day-to-day basis to clear myself and shield myself. But, I'd be the first to get so excited about a new project, and immediately the first thing, my ego kicks in and fear jumps up. Like, is this really going to work out? Oh, look at how many times I failed at things in the past. I'm older now. I don't have time to, make those mistakes that I did in my 20s and 30s because I'm almost 60, right? And who am I to be, taking on new things and changing my career? I should have had figured it out already, right? There must be something wrong here. This is not a good idea to take on a new project. And all of that is my mind, the ego, just wanting to derail me. And it's like a computer file in your brain that kicks up automatically when you go into peace or joy. And will it ever disappear? No. But can you change the way it has an effect on you? Absolutely. It doesn't have to leave you in the grips of fear and uncomfortability and worry and stress and anxiety and putting on weight and being miserable and telling the world how miserable you are. You can see where that's going, right? Well, that doesn't really help you, or it doesn't help your people around you, because the last thing people really want to do is hear you complain. Really. So this is all about learning how to trust, like really trust. And when I first started doing this, it was weird because I was built up around worry and making sure everything was all right. I told you a little bit of how I was brought into this world. Almost 60 years ago, at a time where there was a lot of unhappiness and fear. Are things going to work out? And I also lived in Tokyo during the Vietnam War. There's a lot of on Air Force bases, but there's a lot of energy about, is the world safe? Can I trust my government? There's a lot of stuff that was my stories. So we all have stories they're stories, and they can appear really real. Yes, things happened, but it's our energetic response. It's our energetic way of holding on to them that we carry them with us like they're ours, and that's sometimes called baggage. And we all have the ability to let things go. So right now, I'm just going to do a quick clearing for everyone, all listeners, about release. I'm going to do an etheric cord cutting just for a couple minutes so that we can just release the past as we know it right now. And I'm just going to play a little meditation music. Just hold on a second. I'll go. Here we go. So just take a few deep breaths. Relax. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, the right-hand archangel to God, our higher power, with his sword of light, I'm going to ask him to cut any etheric cords that are attached to negativity, the past, things going on right now that's draining us, causing us worry, suffering. And these etheric cords are like thin surgical tubing connected between you and those thoughts, people, things. And we're going to ask Archangel Michael to sever and cut these cords with his sword of light. You may know what they are. You may not know what these cords are right now, but if you feel drained, energetically more worried than usual, these cords can be cut, and we're going to do that right now. Archangel Michael, please cut all cords, etheric cords of tension, fear, anxiety, any lower energies that are between our listeners and those others. Now, cords between you and people you love will never be severed. So sometimes we have upsets, miscommunications with them that drain us, cause us anger, rage. Now, all these cords are now being severed. And how that happens is it's just like a sword that cuts through and the energy is released. For some of you, if this is the first time doing this, it could be a lot of energy. It could bring up emotions later on. Don't be worried. And if you find yourself later on today or tomorrow, during the week, you can cut your own cord or call upon Archangel Michael again to cut these cords. And I do it daily as a way just to immediately experience lightness of being and freedom and peace. And also, if there are any people in your life that you know that you need to forgive, that one that you're thinking about right now, it's time to let that go. And you may not forgive the act but you can forgive the person. We all have that happen to us day to day. And some of us have collected a lot of people, some of us more than others. It doesn't matter. We're human beings. That's what we do. We get upset. And we may tell them and say that we have forgiven them, but really in our heart, we hold a little place of like connection. That's like an etheric cord also. Well, I want you to imagine today that they're all inside of a corral, like a horse corral. And in this corral, there stands all those people that you have not totally forgiven, so that they still hold an energetic place in your body, in your energy field. We're going to open the gates, and we're going to let these beings, these people, walk out. Let them walk out, jump, skip, and be free. And we're just going to forgive them. And day to day, you can see who is in that corral and who have you placed. And sometimes you might see yourself. There's something that you didn't forgive yourself. Maybe I should be more along in my career by now. I should have had more savings, account. Anything that's right there for you. Let it go. And if you need to, sometimes you do it twice, but usually you see that person. They may experience an energetic release. They may contact you and say, I was thinking of you the other day. Not to worry, it's all good. So thank you. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for assisting us today and releasing that which we no longer live, and allowing us to experience peace and love. And so it is. Okay, so thank you. And you can do this. It's part of angel therapy, the ability to work with the archangels, or your own ability to shift and move energy. Because just as you hold on, as much as we know what it is to hold on, you can do the complete opposite and let go. And try it on, practice it, and it gets better and easier the more you practice. All right, so I'm going to take just a brief 1-minute break, and then I'm going to take the callers to do angel card readings. So just a minute break. That was actually 30 seconds, so I just had to get some water. All right, so I'm now going to take the calls. Area code 831, how may I help you, and what is your name?
My first name
Hi
is Lisa Ray. Hi there. And, I'm in love, and I'm also unemployed.
Okay.
But it's all good.
Yeah, so look at you. I can feel it.
I've been calling on the angels, and I've learned some lessons from you today, like the menu, only say it once. But I wake up every morning with great gratitude. So I'd just like to know a message today.
Okay.
I'm sending protection over my boyfriend, who is going on a business trip and dealing with people that are not healthy, and just want to see what's going on.
Okay, so Linda Ray, did you say your name?
Lisa Ray, Lezarae.
Okay. Do you hear like an echo?
Not just now. I do.
Okay, because I'm going to take off my headset. Now I'm using my telephone. Handheld.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Okay, I can hear you.
Hello.
Because I was hearing an echo. I hope that wasn't going on the whole time. But anyway, so here we go.
No, I didn't hear it over the airwaves.
Okay, great. Now tell me, did you want general guidance right now over the whole situation about your boyfriend traveling, or just for you in your life right now?
How about just me in my life right now?
Okay, because that's kind of what I felt at first, was that, what is the general guidance the angels have for me? On the one hand, great that you're in the relationship, but you also mentioned in regards to being unemployed. So,
right. That's going to rectify it, so.
Okay. So let's just see what the angels have to do. Good, you're taking action, right? Because we can't just sit there and meditate, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to use the card decks of Adoring Virtue, and
the mermaids
aren't they? They're like really magical.
Oh,
so here,
actually, I collect mermaids. I collect mermaids,
do?
So I'm so excited.
Well, I could just go straight to the mermaid deck again. No. I'm like the kid at the candy store. I have so many decks that I go, but now I'm going to go with the first one that I was drawn to, and that's the daily guidance from your angels oracle card. So hold on one second as I shuffle the deck. Thank you. Okay, so here, the message for you. I did 3 cards, and it could also. Oh, here you go. We have a dolphin right in the middle, so we're back to the ocean here. The first card is let your past go, and it says the burden of carting your past around has made you weary. Dear one, it's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. And what I'm getting, I'm in touch with is that, if it's a sense of worry, I don't know if you worry a lot, but you don't have to worry so much right now.
Okay.
And I already experienced that in your speaking, that things are going to rectify, at least in the financial area. The second card is joy. And it says, joy is the highest energy of all. I did talk about that today. And it says, what is that in the background for a moment? Is that, are you outside?
Oh, I'm on my patio. That's my wind chime. Sorry.
Oh, how nice. That's okay. So it's joy says, it's the magical sense that everything is possible. And joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. And joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible levels. So here we have, let your past go, and my sense is that you understand what that's about. But it's really saying that you also are present to that. Joy is like we talk about alchemy today. Joy is where your magic is, and being joyful, and it's the highest energy. So when you're present to that attracts more. And then the third card is blessing in disguise. So it says, what appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. So you'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the very best way. So even as you intimated, is that that it's going to rectify itself, but it's also saying here, the angels are saying that it's a blessing in disguise right now that you're unemployed. And that something better is coming along.
Yes.
And to trust.
Yes.
So that's the message we get today. And to stay joyful.
And I will stay in the joy. I will let the worry go. Let God let go. And my blessings are going to occur. I just need to trust. And there's a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
what we're getting today.
Well, I feel good. I feel good that he's going to do well on his trip and come back, and employment will find me.
Yes. Okay. So thank you for calling in today.
No, thank you.
Okay, and like you said, you're open to receiving a full hour reading from me if you want to enter the contest in July. All you have to do is go to my website and be one of my on my email list for my newsletter, which I send out once a month. And okay, so that's on Bcalvanocoaching. You can see the information on Blog Talk Radio here. And yes, it's a $60 value, and it will be. I'll put all the names of the people who enter in July and do the drawing at the end of the month.
Oh, okay. Fantastic! Very exciting. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Very good. Well, have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay.